and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Trump reclaiming the presidential mantle after being booted from office just 4 years ago, a crowning achievement in a political comeback for the history books.
The golden age of America begins right now. From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first.
He promised dozens of executive orders within hours of being sworn in, among them declaring a national border emergency, allowing the deployment of the military to secure the southern border with Mexico, and order to government departments to bring down inflation, overhauling the U.S. trading system, including tariffs on foreign countries, declaring a national energy emergency to expand America's fossil fuel extraction, withdraw the United States from the Paris Climate Change Agreement, and exiting several domestic green initiatives, and ending diversity, equity and inclusion programs within the federal government, among others.
As we gather today, our government confronts a crisis of trust. For many years, a radical and corrupt establishment has extracted power and wealth from our citizens, while the pillars of our society lay broken and seemingly in complete disrepair. We now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad. It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American citizens, but provides sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions that have illegally entered our country from all over the world. We have a government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders, but refuses to defend American borders or, more importantly, its own people.
The new incumbent reflected on his personal troubles that saw him face legal jeopardy on serious charges, only to be saved by an electorate, and in so doing, becoming the first convicted felon to be sworn in as President of the United States.
Over the past 8 years, I have been tested and challenged more than any president in our 250-year history, and I've learned a lot along the way. The journey to reclaim our republic has not been an easy one, that I can tell you. Those who wish to stop our cause have tried to take my freedom and indeed to take my life. Just a few months ago in a beautiful Pennsylvania field, an assassin's bullet ripped through my ear. But I felt then, and believe even more so now, that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again.
As the international community waits anxiously to see how America First will impact their national and multilateral interests.
Trump runs a very nationally focused, quite transactional approach to America's position in the world. Whereas I think the Joe Biden administration, in people like Jake Sullivan, Anthony Blinken and others, they channeled, I think, some of that probably kind of post-Cold War, 90s, early 2000s, sense of America having a global moral responsibility for providing security to different parts of the world. It's now a big open question as to how Donald Trump interprets the use of America's military power and its prestige globally.
The inauguration moved indoors for the first time in 40 years due to frigid temperatures in the nation's capital, but a return to tradition, with Biden and former Presidents Obama, Bush and Clinton all in attendance, after Trump refused to concede his election loss to Biden 4 years ago and boycotted the inauguration in 2021. Trump's later escorting the Bidens onto the presidential helicopter that would take them to a presidential jet and onwards to California on a post-presidential vacation. The 78-year-old Republican now retakes power with a unified government and Republican control across the board. A House and Senate eager to implement his sweeping agenda, facing a defeated opposition in Democrats who will seek to find their footing in a new political dispensation, as Trump expresses a desire for a legacy as a global peacemaker and unifier in a country that remains as divided as when he first took office 8 years ago. Shervin Bryceby's SABC News, New York.